Greetings everyone. So in last lecture we found that how do we do the directory enumeration, and we found a hidden directory which was in an image, and that was not a practical thing, but still let's assume that we did the brute force attack and we found that using that. So now we are going to go in that directory and we are trying to do a brute force on the directory. So let's open the Firefox. And let's try to go to that directory. Okay, this is the directory. And actually, this is a whole page. Let me just refresh this for you. Okay, it says proxies running. I was just testing out the things and I configured the burp proxy. I'm just gonna remove that and then I will tell you basically how that works. So this is how you remove a proxy. You go to settings, network settings, use system proxy. Now you might say, hey, but I don't have that. So that's fine. We're gonna set it right now. Okay, let's see what the directory was. This was the directory which we found. Okay, so this is the page which we have found. Now in an ideal scenario, we would like to view the source, and we would like to do a vulnerability scan using some software and tools. Here you see it's a simple form, and it even says the form is not connected to MySQL. So probably I would like to show you how to do a brute force attack. Now this is not applicable in real world. You are not going to brute force any website, because a brute force takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. In a real life, you would like to scan this page from a vulnerability scanner and you would like to try, is there anything you can find? Is there any vulnerability? Is there anything you can find which can help you to get access to the website? But in this case, we are going to brute force this page because the author is saying that it is not that complex. So it's just to show you how to brute force, otherwise we will do a vulnerability scan. I'm going to use a tool called Burp Suite. Here is the Burp Suite. Okay, let's add the password here. And actually I'm just gonna close Burp Suite now. You know why? Because sometimes Burp Suite will give a lot of issues and I want it to run as a root. So here I will just become a root first. And now I will run Burp Suite from here. And running Burp Suite or running any application from terminal gives you a benefit that you can press Ctrl+C in the terminal and it will terminate the application as soon as you press that. Just click on next and start burp. We will minimize this terminal. Because we are going to do a brute force attack, first of all we would need a word list. So I'm going to use a word list called rocku.txt. You can find this word list in internet. Otherwise, because rocku.txt, it's a very famous word list, it contains almost all common passwords. Otherwise, you can find this word list in, let me go to that location directly. You can find it in the, I think this one, user. So you have the user, share, and you have a word list folder here. In all, basically in all penetration testing Linux or operating systems, you will find the word list folder here. And in a word list, you will find a lot of them. And there is the rocku.txt.gz. It's a compressed one. Just open it and extract it, and you will find rocky.txt. Okay. Now, to run burp, you need to set it as a proxy, which means, let's say you want to visit this website. You will first go to burp. Burp will send the request to website. Website will send request to burp, and burp will send request to our browser. It will be like a middle person. It will act as a middleman. So let's go to preferences and networking, and here manual proxy settings, HTTP proxy 172.0.0.1, which is the local IP, local host. Then port is 8080. Use this proxy server for all protocols and just click on OK. This is how you set up Burp Suite to work with your browser. So in all occasions you do this. Now if you just try to, let's say, add some wrong words, first of all let's go to proxy and verify. Okay, intercept is off, on, so let's make it off. We don't want to intercept any request. Let's say I want to try B. Let's just press enter, and it says invalid key. That's fine. Let's go to HTTP history, and there is the request. Okay, let me show you again what we did. We just configured Burp Suite with our browser, okay, using the proxy. Then we go to proxy intercept, and we off, like we do the intercept as off. We don't want to intercept the request. What is that? Intercept means, let me just show you. If I just click on intercept on, and now I just try to add anything, I press enter, it will go to Burp. It will ask, like Burp is asking me, okay, do you want to forward this request? Then it will go to the website. Then website will send a request, it will come to Burp, and then Burp will say, hey, do you want to get this request? And then we will say forward, and it will come to us. So it is acting as a middleman, and it is stopping all the requests. So I'm going to say drop. I don't want to get that request here. Intercept off. Let's go back. Okay, let's go to HTTP history. Now we have two of them, that's fine. So this request, it is the one which contains all the information for us. So if you just see the request, there is the key is equal to B. So we added B, right? You remember we added B. So key is equal to B. This is the parameter. We want to brute force this. We want to try key is equal to A, B, C, D. We want to try each and every password we can. So just send this request to intruder. Right click, send to intruder. This is how you brute force or attack applications. Intruder is the part which attacks on applications. So just go to intruder. Now everything is set. This is the IP address. This is the port, right? This is the position. In position, you see this this parameter. It's already added as a position. Burp will automatically just go ahead and attack this. So it will change this thing to some different value each and every time it attack. If it is wrong, you can just select it. You can clear this up, and you can select the correct one. Let's say this was the right parameter, which is going to add my attack value. I can just click on add, and it will select this one. But it is correct, so just leave it. Go to payloads, and payloads, it states which type of attack do you want to do. Well, we want to do a simple list attack because we have a list here. Otherwise, you can even do other things like character forward, or the null payloads, or even a complete brute force attack. I remember this is, yeah, here it is, brute forcer. Right? We can do a lot of things, but simple list is fine. I'm gonna drag it right here. Okay, it doesn't work. I'm gonna load it. And this is a big list, and maybe Burp will stop responding at all. That is what I was thinking. I'm not sure if it is going to respond to my request at all. So now I have tried this a lot of times, and Burp is not able to load this big list just because there are very limited resources on this virtual machine. In a real environment, I would maybe using practically a guest machine, a host machine instead of the virtual one. Let me try to, it will not be able to load this at all. I'm just gonna close it using the terminal. That is why I ask you to run it through terminal, because now you can press Ctrl C to close it. We are going to run that again. And because there are only limited resources, I'm going to show you, okay, sorry, we don't want to close that. Delete, close, next, start burp, cancel, and minimize this. Now, we don't want to do this in real world because, Rocky.txt, that's a very huge list. And our virtual machine is not able to handle that. So that's fine. But just for the proof of concept, let me see. We don't have that. Okay, let's try this again. Here we have that. So, okay, that's fine. Let's forward it to Intruder. Just for the proof of concept that how do you brute force, I'm going to add some passwords here. This is correct. Payloads. I'm going to add some passwords here, which will be school, list, proficient, course, hacking, elite, and some things like AB, AST, ECZ, USR, and let's say admin, password, login. So these are some basic things. I just added some, like, actually a lot less passwords. So in that list there are, I don't know, maybe 20,000-30,000 passwords, and that is why the virtual machine was not able to handle that big list. So that's fine. That's really fine. That is how we just add a list. In that case, when we load it in a real machine instead of a virtual machine, that is how we add it. Make sure you add the elite, because elite is the password here. If I just, elite is the password, real password. That is why I added elite, because I want to show you that the proof of concept that yes, it works. And now I'm just going to start the attack. It says that you need Burp Suite Pro Edition, otherwise this will be very very slow. That's fine, because in real world you will be using the Burp Suite Pro Edition, not the full, the trial one. Why would you need a trial one? Okay, it just completed the attack, and now you see, there is nothing wrong, but you see the length, it says 336 here, and other all they are the same. Otherwise, in some cases the status will be different, and in some cases the length is different. You can just, let's say this one, I just select hacking, I can just say response and render. It will show me this was the response. If I just go to this one and I say response and render, you see there is no render at all, which means that it moved to a different page, because this doesn't give any response here, and the length is different. Most probably this is the password, and that is how it works. So that is how we brute force things. Now just to show you, because elite is the password I already knew, because I have brute forced this thing through my Windows machine. So Burp is a cross-platform software, you can install it in any way. And I knew that it is elite because I did that, and you can just go ahead and hold on. You can just go ahead and try the password elite here, and it will work. ELITE, and it works. You see. So I just wanted to show you how to brute force things. The main motive was not to use Burp Suite to load the Rocky.txt, which is a big list, but this was just a demonstration. And you should not use Burp Suite Community Edition or the free edition. You should basically use the Pro Edition when doing brute forcing. So at least a Pro Edition is a good option to do a brute forcing. And instead of the virtual machine, you should, you would like to run it in a physical machine instead of a virtual one. And that is how you do brute forcing. So if you just, you just go to intruder and you see the attack which we did, it actually worked, right? You again, if you want to attack it, you can attack it again, and you see all the passwords are wrong, but this one, it gives a different length, and because this is working, and this actually uses all these passwords. So in that list there are thousands of passwords, and that's why it just didn't work. If I just open this one, you see cannot open file rockq.txt. Oh, that's fine. It's a character encoding. So that's fine. I'm just gonna hold on. Let's try open in terminal. Let's see ls rockq.txt. If I just say less rockq.txt, it works. If I just say head rockq.txt, it works. If I just say tail rockq.txt, yeah, it even works. So these are some different coding passwords. So the list is fine, but it's very big, and that's why the Burp Suite was not able to load it, and that was the main thing. So this is how you brute force things. And in next lecture, we're gonna see what is in this page. So now we know that the first password is elite, and that is how we brute force. But what is here? So let's do that in the next lecture.